How's it going, guys? This is Mr. Chip 918 here, or Cam here, and today's story time is a pretty crazy one, not gonna lie. So today's story time is how I nearly died sleeping through an earthquake on a school trip. So, this happened, I think it was 2016, so I was like 11 at the time, and so yeah, let's just get into it. So we have I think for a year, there's a trip that goes around and it's called OBC. It's like an outdoor education kind of thing where you go out and you go pretty much out into the wilderness. You go caving, you go, I think, water rafting. You go up to this mountain that has snow on it and it's quite cool. You hike it. And yeah. And so what happened was I went on this trip. It was like, I think it was a really big drive. It was like a 4-5 hour drive from where my school was. So we had to go into everyone's cars because we had a little bit of a carport because our school didn't have like a school bus at the time. So we had to use parents' cars. We all do it up, buddied up, got into I got into my mate's car because me and him were in the same year and we're going on this trip together and we're staying in the same bedroom. So yeah, we're driving there and we get there and it's a really cool place. Like, it is fucking, like, the views is insane. Like, you can see this huge snowy mountain and you can see all the snow on it, and it's actually a live volcano. Like, it still is live to this day. It is a live volcano, and we're in this huge hall with like 60 bedrooms. Like, it's huge, and like all of our classes there. And yeah, so the first day it was so fucking fun. So we get there and we meet all our instructors and we get split up into 3 teams. I get split into the third team, which is kind of the more experienced, because yeah, I could say that I'm a bit of an outdoorsy type person. Like, I do like the outdoors. I do kind of like to push my risks, push me outside my comfort zone. So yeah, I was like the school already knew that I was kind of like bit of an outdoorsy person, so they put me up there, which was quite cool then. And so on the first day we go caving, and now this cave that we went into, it was fucking creepy. Like, I don't really mind caves, but it's just a small spaces. Like, I'm not claustrophobic, but the small spaces kind of got to me. Like, you just had to squeeze through, and you just didn't know what was around the corner. It's the fear of the unknown. Like, that's what I'm mostly afraid of. The fear of the unknown. Like, you hear a noise and you're like, what was that? You know, an unknown noise that you just don't know. And yeah, so the first day it was sick, and our instructor said that usually we're gonna sleep in the cave, so we had to set up all our stuff, got our sleeping bags and that. And what happened was we went back to I'm just gonna call it a hut, because it kind of was a hut, but it was more like, I guess, like a apartment type thing. And so we get back to the hut. And like, we all have, I think it was dinner at the time, and for food we didn't have to bring any food because there was cooks there and they cooked for us. There was a huge kitchen. And the dumb thing is that after you eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, you have to fucking do the dishes. What kind of shit is that? You know, you get like fucking 50 kids to fucking wash and dry. It's gonna be hectic. So anyway, we eat, I'm eating with my friend, we're just talking, you know, like, bro, this trip is gonna be so fucking cool, like, we're gonna be climbing up a mountain and all this, and we're just hyping it up. And so we go to bed, wake up, it's the second day, and the second day we go back to the cave, we check all our stuff is there. So our instructor's like, right, we're gonna go to the rock climbing wall. They have this huge outdoor rock climbing wall that you could climb, chuck on your harness, and you just climb, and you have a belay there, obviously, to just catch you if you fall. And yeah, it was pretty fun that day. And we ended up also going into an indoor one that they had, and the indoor one was kind of cool. They had like crash mats and stuff, so like you could like free climb and then jump off and like just jump onto the mats. It was actually really fun. And so on the second night was crazy. This is when it all went fucking left. So we all go into our rooms, and so I forgot to tell you, but the rooms, it had 3 beds on the bottom, 3 beds on the top, and then across the room it was 2 beds on the bottom, 2 beds on the top. So it was just huge bunk beds, and I'm sleeping with all these boys with me. Some of them are friends, some of them I'm just like, who the fuck are you? But you know, you kind of just don't really care because you're with your friends anyway, like sleeping next to you. And so we're all just chilling, all, you know, doing the thing, staying up late, laughing and talking. And it gets to like 12 o'clock at night, and everyone's kind of like falling asleep, and we're trying to be quiet. And me and my friends were all just like, alright, it should be time for bed because we will be tired for tomorrow for the cave. And the third night was supposed to be us staying in the cave. So we're like, well, we better get some sleep so we can actually do shit tomorrow. So we go to bed, and then I'm just sleeping. Like I passed out because I was so tired. Because at the time, like my sleeping schedule was go to bed early, wake up early. Like I couldn't stay up late. Like it was just so impossible for me. I needed my sleep. So I went to bed. I'm a very heavy sleeper, and I still know to this day that I'm still a very heavy sleeper. Heavy, my bad. Heavy sleeper. So I'm just sleeping. I'm passing out and having fucking this meanest dream, and all of a sudden I just get shocked. What happens when you get shocked when you're in your deepest sleep? Like obviously you're gonna get a fright, and I wake up and I'm like, whoa. What the fuck? Like, I just wake up, I'm like, yo. And it's my friend, he's like, yo, earthquake. And I was like, what? What are you on about? Like, I thought he was joking. I was like, what? And he's like, bro, earthquake, we need to go outside. And you can hear the siren in this apartment going. It's like a fire alarm. I'm like, oh shit. And I thought it was a fire because, you know, when you wake up, you can't really, like, put, you know, words together. So I thought he was like, yo, fire. I was like, oh shit. So I put clothes on, and I just run outside. Me and my mate just run outside, and like I see all of my class there and all my teachers, and I was one of the last people to get out. And I'm like, my teacher came up to me. He's like, oh, Cameron, you're right. Look, what happened? Like, is there anyone else here? I was like, what happened? Like, I'm fine, yeah, but what happened? And they're like, there was a huge earthquake that just happened. Everyone got woken up, and it was because of that the volcano. We just had, I think they said it was like a 4.8 magnitude earthquake. Not too sure about, you know, the magnitudes, but I think 4.8's in the lower magnitude, so it wasn't really a big one. So yeah, everyone's all outside, all the girls like freaking out, and like some of them were crying. I was like, bro, what is happening? And my mate's telling me, and he's like, yo, how did you not wake up? And I was like, what do you mean? I was sleeping. And he's like, how did you not wake up to an earthquake? And I was like, I don't know, like, I probably could have slept through it if you didn't wake me up. And he was like, holy shit, bro. And I was just thinking, I was like, bro, like, imagine if I actually slept through that earthquake. Like, I probably could have got crushed. Luckily, everything was all so intact. There was just a couple of shit that fell over. It was easily fixable. And so what happened was, after that, the instructors said, we're going to close off the cave, because after an earthquake, you don't want to be wandering around in caves, because it can collapse at any time, because it just got shook up. So all of our class, we had to go back to the cave, we had to grab all our stuff and just leave. And we had to leave the OPC place early because of the earthquake, and I was like, what is happening? Like, I was so hyped for this trip, and it was all just because this earthquake happened. And I was like, what? Like, I've never ever experienced an earthquake, and I just happened to be fucking passed out and not even experience the shaking. Like, apparently my friend, he's kind of like a big guy. I'm not saying he's fat, I'm just saying he's a big guy, you know, he's bulky. And he said, yo, I was rolling around when I woke up. Like, all the beds were just shaking. Just left, right. You can see the windows moving. I was like, wow, you could have woke me up. But I wanted to see it. But at the same time, I feel like if I woke up, I'd be freaking out as much as he did. So like, and like I said before, I was the last person there, so they kind of thought that I died for a second. So they were really worried, and it was kind of selfish for the teachers. They got my mate to come get me. Like, what? Why don't you come get me? You're the fucking adult. Like, making another, like, younger person come in and get me. Like, you're old, you know, you've experienced life. Like, you should try and sacrifice your life for me, you know? Like, come on, man. And so, yeah, that was a very crazy experience. Like, that's like a once in a lifetime experience. I hope that's the only earthquake that I experience. And yeah, that was a time that I nearly slept through an earthquake on a school trip. And yeah, it was a pretty crazy story. It was kind of short, but I have heaps more stories to go through. Like, I have a huge list, and I'm just gonna start posting out heaps of story times about my life, and I hope you guys like it. So if you like this video, obviously like the video, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, and yeah, just so you can keep up with my next story time or video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and take care.
They spitting facts at me, I'm spitting tracks, catch me, I'm spinning gold on my records, no you can't compare me. They tell me Jesus walks